Platform party can please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Provost Joe McCarthy, and it's my great honor to open the ceremony for the University of Pittsburgh's 2024 Faculty Honors Convocation, which this year includes the installation of Chancellor Gable. Woo! All right, let's check that. Start again. Thank you for joining us today on this important occasion as we pay tribute to our faculty colleagues. This event marks the third time that we've established 3 separate convocations, one for faculty, one for graduate and professional students, and one for undergraduates. The opportunity to focus on the absolutely outstanding accomplishments of our faculty and students in this way really gives us time to share in their achievements and to celebrate them more fully. Since 1787, our commitment to having an impact through the work of our faculty, students, and alums has been unwavering, and the results can be seen in almost every aspect of human welfare, as well as in the economic and intellectual vitality of our local and global communities. This ceremony honors both academic accomplishments and leadership of individual members of our community. I congratulate all who are to be recognized today. It is now my pleasure to introduce John Verbanek, who is the chair-elect of the University of Pittsburgh's Board of Trustees. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Provost McCarthy, and I got that right, I think. Jonah Gable is a distinguished addition to a list of only 19 that have served as Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh in our 237-year history. One of which, by the way, is with us here today. Chancellor Nordenberg, welcome. And while this ceremony to inaugurate or install a chancellor is far from a new thing at the University of Pittsburgh, it is because of the fire of 1845, however, which destroyed any prior record, that tracking our first inauguration is not formally documented. We do know, however, that when Chancellor McCracken was inaugurated in June of 1882, it was stated during his ceremony that the university's first inauguration was held in 1822, with the installation of Robert Bruce as principal for what was then the Western University of Pennsylvania. And we know that in December of 1835, Bruce's successor, Gilbert Morgan, was formally inaugurated in a ceremony as the institution's second chancellor. We also know that over time, this ceremony has evolved from as many as 3 days of celebration, like Chancellor Litchfield's 1956 inauguration, to Chancellor Posvar's 1968 inauguration, which was filled with a full day of events, to this most recent of traditions for us, which is installation at Honors Convocation, which began, again, with Chancellor Nordenberg in 1997, and was then repeated by Chancellor Gallagher in 2015. Today, we continue this important tradition, and we do so at this most incredible venue. With that, it's my great pleasure to ask my colleague and current chair of the Board of Trustees, Lou Costello, to come forward.
Thank you, John. It is my pleasure to officially install Joan Gable as the 19th Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh. Joan Gable joins an institution with a distinguished and impactful history of achievement at a time when the field of higher education is rapidly changing. Indeed, when the whole world is rapidly changing. We're at a moment in history when visionary ideas and strong leadership are essential for the future of institutions like ours. Joan Gable provides both. Moreover, As the first woman ever selected to lead this 237-year-old institution we hold so dear, she embodies the transformational change that the world needs now. And with her election in April 2023 by the Board of Trustees, a mere 1 year and 3 days, 2 days, she has hit the ground running to advance that transformational change after beginning last July, from launching the Finish Line grants on her 100th day to promote greater access and affordability to our students, to most recently delivering on the university's next strategic plan, the Plan for Pitt 2028, which was approved by the board yesterday. Joan Gable's academic and professional resume is a testament to the respect she has earned in academia. She received a bachelor's degree in philosophy from Haverford College and a Juris Doctor from the University of Georgia School of Law. She most recently served as a president of the University of Minnesota System in Twin Cities campus, and prior to that, as executive vice president for academic affairs and provost at the University of South Carolina, and as a dean of the Robert Trelask Senior College of Business at the University of Missouri. She is also the recipient of numerous research, service, and teaching awards, including her recognition as a Fulbright Scholar. The University of Pittsburgh has a long history of appointing accomplished and visionary leaders. That tradition continues today. Our university's Board of Trustees is honored to officially install Chancellor Joan Gable and welcome her into this incredible community. Joan, would you please step forward? Joan Gable, by the virtue of authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I now have the high honor and esteemed privilege of formally installing you as the 19th Chancellor of the University of Pittsburgh. In so doing, I extend to you all rights, honors, duties, and responsibilities pertaining to your office, confident that you will continue to provide strong and effective leadership for our university. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chair Costello and Chair-elect Verbanek, and good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, everyone. I am so honored to join our faculty who are being recognized today, and we're all in for a treat as we will soon hear about what our faculty have accomplished and the inspiration and impact of their work, what they do with our students, what they do for their peers, what they do in support of and in partnership with our staff. And I'm also honored to welcome our distinguished guests, members of our Board of Trustees who join me here, Chancellor Emeritus Nordenberg, as well as our broad community of alumni, friends, and supporters from around the Commonwealth and around the world who are here in person or streaming this event. And I want to extend a debt of gratitude to all of those responsible. A lot of people worked together to bring together this program. There's a whole group of people working behind the scenes. There's a whole group of people keeping us safe. And if we could give all of them a round of applause, please. They worked really hard. I also want to recognize my husband, Gary. As you might imagine, he puts up with a lot. And he is also a member of our faculty, too. And my children who are with him, and his mother, who's here today, and my father, who's here today, and several of my friends, many of whom traveled really far to support me, and us, all of us in this community, and all of whom have a deep appreciation for what these moments mean for all of us when we get a chance to stop and celebrate, and appreciate what these moments can mean for all of us who work in higher education, across the board, and also, I think, for all of us at this university when we get a chance to have moments like this. We gather in a building. I know those of us who get to come in here often, I don't know how you walk through the room that you walk through before you come into this room, which was actually recently refurbished, and don't stop and say, oh my gosh, what a beautiful room, right? This building was meant to inspire. Andrew Carnegie called it his monument, and this stage has been graced by the likes of Luciano Pavarotti and Ella Fitzgerald and others, and it's within this backdrop that we enjoy one of Pitt's most important and time-honored traditions that began with Tap Day. That goes back nearly a century and was always intended to be an occasion honoring outstanding students, and it's taken on different forms and shapes over time. Scholars Day, spring and fall convocations, and then since 1977, we've called it Honors Convocation. And it's a tradition that we intentionally timed to have this installation join, because even as we recognize our world-class faculty, which we will do, we also feel a lot of headwinds in higher education, and we feel unrest in our lives and in society. And I know many of us feel some melancholy as we face these headwinds and we feel these headwinds strengthen. And we pause and recognize that all of us, and at the University of Pittsburgh, we are not immune to these headwinds and the melancholy that it caused all of us to feel. We are far from untested here at this institution. Our story has been forged over 237 years, as you heard our chair-elect describe. And it dates back to an outpost of civilization and a log house near the Point downtown, where this great university was conceived, back to the hopes of Hugh Henry Brackenridge and the 21 incorporators and trustees of the university's charter who dreamed of a seat of learning in Pittsburgh for their children. And it was a story that included a Great Fire of 1845, which left behind ashes of the University Hall on 3rd and Cherry. And yet, even in those most desperate times, and despite calls then for the university to close, our forebears ensured that classes would continue. And it should be no surprise then how that toughness and that resiliency and that spirit have been forged into our DNA, because when Pittsburgh and society have needed something, we've literally risen from the ashes to give it to them. Whether it was simply finding a way to stay open and continue our mission, or how destiny has been carved out of these hills to defeat crippling diseases in the 50s, or today to do things like restore sight to the blind. Friends, this is an identity here. It's inherent when you build a foundation on rolling up sleeves and getting things done, and when our city's relationship with the university is inseparable. Paralleled hopes, development, texture across parts of 4 different centuries that are as distinct as the hills above our rivers, where our city and our university are not only each enlarged, each inspired by the other, but also joined in a vital past, as well as the future, as noted by Pittsburgh native and Pulitzer Prize-winning author David McCullough, our 1994 commencement speaker. And to be clear, it's a future at Pitt like our great city, which is far from bloomed, especially as we gather today on the forward edge of our university's history. Because this forward edge has momentum. It's accelerated with sincere appreciation to my honorable predecessors, including Chancellor Emeritus Nordenberg, who is here today with us. And there is a lot you can say about this momentum, but I'll tell you a few things, because there are a few really good things that we know and that we like to talk about, like record student demand and record graduation rates and record job placement rates for our graduates, record research funding. We are nationally recognized as an employer of choice, with distinction not only as higher education's top university for community engagement, but also for our over $5.2 billion impact on the Commonwealth, 45% of our graduates having no debt at all, 98% of our graduates having a job or a graduate school placement within 6 months of their degree, over $1 billion annually in research funding, while ascending national rankings in patents and startups, and leading the life sciences century with groundbreaking innovation with things like BioForge. And yet, as has been proven time and again, we know that we can have a sampling of distinctions, and we could have said more. None of this is a given. It's not guaranteed. We don't inherit it. It's not a birthright, but it's achieved because we work hard here. We create and we channel, and we have the best of human potential here. We have names like Cooper and Dorset and Sahel, and in our history like Salk and Safar and Stein, and innumerable other risk takers and leaders and doers who have defined and will define this institution. And yesterday, the university added to this legacy with the Board of Trustees' approval of a strategic plan that grounds us in these values and this expectation of excellence that's grounded in core commitments to our students and to scholarship and to being welcoming and to promoting our accountability to ourselves and to our stakeholders and to the belief that it's possible at Pitt. And it's this last imperative that I want to address. Because for years I've been engaged here prior to becoming chancellor. First I was a Pitt parent, and I have friends who live here and friends who are on the faculty here. And I've learned that there are amazing things happening here that maybe you might not know about if you weren't a part of this community. And I've learned that there's a widely held belief that I agree with, and many of you have heard me say this before, the reputation here is very, very strong, but the reality is even better. And we want to close that gap. We want the world to know about the amazing things that we're doing, like the list that I just rattled off, the amazing work of our faculty that you're going to hear about today. And we want to accelerate our momentum by leaning into our distinct strengths and taking the right chances and investing in people and ideas and initiatives that only we can accomplish. The kinds of things that are only possible at Pitt, things we must name and acknowledge to push ourselves, to continue our momentum towards even higher levels of excellence. Things that remind us that our future remains not one of chance, but of choice. Things that remind us of our commitment to a world of youth flooded with curiosity, wonder, and gladness, as noted by Pitt Chancellor John Bowman, the visionary leader who inspired the Cathedral of Learning. Things like leading the life sciences century. Things like setting the national standard for community service, or even things that we don't know about yet or haven't thought of that may not have emerged, but should have their Pitt moment when they do. And at the same time, we must make sure that we remain true to ourselves and to our values and to the light of learning that was ignited in a square-logged academy nearly a quarter of a millennium ago, a light which is preserved for the children of this generation and generations to come, as our forebears had hoped. Because we're anchored in a legacy, but also fueled by a momentum. And that gives me optimism and a certainty of our strength in the face of any headwinds that we might face today and that we will face in the future. But above all, what excites me and gives me a sense of peace is that I know we're just getting started. So I say hail to possible and hail to Pitt. Thank you. So now, distinguished members of the Pitt faculty, it is a pleasure and an honor to turn to the main reason, the actual reason we are here today, which is to recognize all of you. So this is the Honors Convocation, and we are here to celebrate your many achievements. So I'm honored to present several Chancellor's Distinguished Awards, and also very pleased to note that we're including recipients of the Chancellor's Distinguished Awards from 2020 and 2021 today, because it was impossible to hold a public event at that time. So as you might imagine, not every recipient could be here today, but we will acknowledge all of the honorees. So we'll begin with the Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award, which recognizes teaching excellence by members of the University of Pittsburgh faculty. So I'd like to ask the chair of the selection committee, Dr. Juan Manfredi, to join us and assist in the presentation. So as I call your name, please come forward. We'll have 3 to 6 names in each category, and I ask the audience to please hold your applause until all honorees have reached the stage. So first, we're going to call up the 2020 honorees. So first, we'll have Jennifer Cousins in psychology, engaged in undergraduate teaching assistance in designing curricula and testing teaching innovations. Salah Al-Zaidi in nursing was honored for his leadership of a core ECG lab that recruited more than 2,000 research participants and developed new research protocols and systems for data analysis. David Sanchez in engineering was recognized for leading the innovation and entrepreneurship entrepreneurship program in the Swanson School, and for implementation of active project-based learning techniques in the classroom. Jeff Aziz in the Department of English redesigned the literature program, developing initiatives that encourage faculty to combine critical analysis with hands-on activities. And Carla Spagnoletti in medicine was honored for her leadership of the master's degree and certificate programs in medical education, which have become among the best in the nation. So let's congratulate these excellent faculty. All right, next we'll have recipients of the 2021 Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award. Chris Spano in political science was cited for his leadership of the Pitt Prison Education Project and for a new dissertation workshop he developed for third-year graduate students. Juja Horvath in dental medicine was honored for advancing the academic career track area of concentration program and for exemplary use of evidence-based interactive teaching methods. Barry Mitnick in Business Administration and Public and International Affairs was honored for channeling his passion for business ethics into the development of a student-led Pitt Business Review, and also for his highly popular course, Market Manipulations, Crises, Bubbles, Robber Barons, and Corporate Saints. I'm going to pause after that. Lori Delaley O'Connor in education was recognized for her commitment to advancing equity and justice and for engaging education students with content and activities that center on race and power. Lisa Borghese in medicine was honored for her leadership of the Immunology and Health and Disease course and for incorporating current events by developing lectures with vaccine experts and clinicians involved in coronavirus clinical trials. Congratulations to these faculty. Okay, next, the recipients of the 2024 Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Awards. Taryn Bales in engineering is recognized for her dedication to mentoring new faculty members and securing a National Science Foundation grant to broaden participation in engineering in rural Pennsylvania. Liliana Doroskovic in the Dietrich School is honored for a new course that examines the contemporary cultures of Eastern Europe and for her leadership of Pitt's Summer Language Institute. Andrew Lotz in political science was recognized for his role in developing an undergraduate teaching assistant program and for his innovative and highly collaborative teaching style. Marie Norman in medicine is the founder and director of Pitt's Innovative Design for Education and Assessment Lab, which is a leader in the growing field online clinical research education. She was honored in particular for her contributions to new programs to support underrepresented minority researchers and mentors. And John Whitefoot in engineering is recognized for developing the Facilitating Inclusive Research Experiences program to encourage research and postgraduate education for undergrads from groups traditionally underrepresented in engineering. Congratulations to these faculty. Okay, next are the recipients of the Chancellor's Distinguished Public Service Award, which recognizes outstanding public service contributions by members of the faculty. First, I'd like to ask a member of this committee, Dr. Paul Harper, to please join me on stage as we recognize these faculty members. Okay, first, the 2020 honorees. Betty Braxter in nursing was honored for devoting her career to the care of disadvantaged girls and young women, enabling Pitt nursing students to gain experience in a wide range of community environments across Western Pennsylvania. Kent Harries in engineering was honored for his contributions to safety through building codes and standards on a national and international scale. And Ray Jones in business administration was recognized for his leadership as director of our Center for Ethics and Leadership and his involvement with efforts that engage Pitt students with local community organizations and underserved communities. Christy Kolarczyk in medicine was recognized for her research and advocacy on behalf of people with ALS and for creating opportunities for students to learn through engaging with ALS patients. Jules Lobel in law was recognized for multiple initiatives helping to protect the public right to engage in protests and demonstrations. He represented several community organizations and also advocated on behalf of prisoners in solitary confinement. Congratulations to these faculty. Next are the recipient of the 2021 Chancellor's Distinguished Public Service Awards. Doris Rubio in medicine was recognized for diversifying the workforce and supporting junior investigators and for launching and overseeing a career education and enhancement for healthcare diversity program. Paul Harper in business, who is conveniently already here on the stage with me, was cited for his work advancing inclusive innovation by encouraging Black entrepreneurship and serving on Pittsburgh's Equal Opportunity Review Commission. Timothy Holler in criminal justice at Pitt Greensburg was recognized for working with community partners in Westmoreland County to advance restorative justice and improve reentry of adult offenders into society. Margaret Rosenzweig in nursing was honored for visionary leadership in addressing racial disparities in patient experience with cancer, for creating a metastatic breast cancer registry to improve care, and recruiting local high school students to nursing careers. Congratulations to these faculty. And next, the recipients of the 2024 Chancellor's Distinguished Public Service Award. Leonora Anyango in the Department of English worked on several service efforts, such as translating church services for East African immigrants. Her composition seminars won high praise for enhancing student experiences through engagement with refugees and the organizations that support them. Thuy Bui in medicine is known for her unwavering, years-long commitment to social medicine and health justice, especially for historically marginalized groups. A former medical director for the Birmingham Free Clinic, she currently directs the med school's Social Medicine Fellows program. Christine Dahlen, a biology professor at Pitt Johnstown, has led numerous successful efforts supporting engagement between the university and the Johnstown community, including a community-based education program in public housing and serving as a member of the Johnstown's Unity Coalition. And Jennifer Brick Murtazashvili in the Graduate School of Public and International Affairs and founding director of our Center for Governance and Markets is honored for her efforts to make Pitt a valuable place of refuge and support for at-risk scholars from Ukraine, Iran, Afghanistan, and other countries. Congratulations to these faculty. It's now my privilege to present the Chancellor's Distinguished Research Awards, which recognizes the outstanding scholarly accomplishments of our faculty. These awards are divided into two categories: junior scholars who have made noteworthy independent contributions to their fields at an early stage of their careers, and senior scholars. I would like to ask the chair of this selection committee, Dr. Rob Rutenbar, to join me as we recognize these outstanding faculty members. I'll begin with the 2020 honorees among the junior scholars. Maria Cecchina, a computational researcher in medicine, was honored for the impact of her original statistical approaches that they are having on the analysis of large-scale biological data sets generated by current genome-scale experimental methods. Peng Liu in chemistry was honored for developing computational tools to better understand metal-catalyzed organic reactions, thereby guiding experimental development of more efficient catalysts. Jules Gill Peterson in English was honored for her research uncovering the history of the transgender child, successfully contesting the notion that children have only recently been identified as transgender and recognizing that idea as a means of discrediting trans youth. And among the senior scholars, Daniel Bicey in psychiatry was honored for his leadership in the field of sleep medicine, developing some of the most widely used measurement tools in sleep research and exploring the neurobiology of insomnia, sleep, and circadian rhythms. Yvette Conley in nursing was recognized for her role in shaping the interface between genomics and nursing as the first geneticist appointed in a nursing school to infuse genomics into nursing sciences. And Yan Dong in neuroscience was honored for his contributions to the evolution of broad theoretical perspectives on drug addiction and for helping to revolutionize the mechanistic understanding of drug addiction. Congratulations to these scientists. Next, the recipients of the 2021 Chancellor's Distinguished Research Award. Amongst the junior scholars, Heath Cavett in anthropology was honored for channeling her ethnographic work with migrants, policymakers, lawyers, and refugees into a monograph that serves as the foundation of her work on solidarity. Rebecca Price in medicine was recognized for her work to design targeted interventions for effective psychological disorders, exerting a profoundly important influence in the field of clinical neuroscience. Michael Hatridge in physics and astronomy was honored for his contributions to our knowledge of how to control quantum systems, making a significant impact on the development of quantum computing and quantum superconducting devices. And amongst the senior scholars, Lisa Vesterlund in economics recognized for her work on gender and competition, which is having a powerful impact not only on experimental and behavioral economics, but also in the workplace. Heng Huang in engineering was honored for his exceptional contributions to the fields of machine learning, artificial intelligence, and biomedical data science, which have a wide range of industrial applications. And Robert Freelander in neurological surgery was honored for his countless career-long contributions to foundational knowledge in neurological surgery and the development of solutions for numerous clinical problems. So congratulations to these scientists. Next, the recipients of the 2024 Chancellor's Distinguished Research Award. Amongst the junior scholars, Peggy Liu, the faculty member in Marketing and Business Administration, is being honored for her exceptional theoretical and practical contributions to the intersections between social and physical well-being. Merit Biru Talabi in medicine has made important contributions to the field of reproductive rheumatology, which led to the development of a new paradigm for addressing reproductive health in vulnerable and high-risk populations. Christopher Wilmer in the Swanson School of Engineering was recognized for his innovative research using molecular simulations to study porous materials, which has advanced understanding of thermal transport in these materials and played a role in the design of innovative electronic nose technology. And for the senior scholars, chemistry professor Alexander Dieters is honored for his innovative and influential research at the interface of chemistry and biology, through which he aims to develop new therapeutic approaches to improve human health. Ann Newman, Distinguished Professor in Public Health, is known for her many influential contributions to understanding the epidemiology of aging and important interventions to promote healthy aging. Jennifer Whiting, Distinguished Professor of Philosophy, is recognized as a leading figure in the world of ancient Greek philosophy, known for bringing ancient philosophical thought into dialogue with modern debates and for close readings of Plato and Aristotle. Congratulations to these scholars. Congratulations to all of our deserving recipients, and I now invite Anantha Shekhar, Senior Vice Chancellor for the Health Sciences, and John and Gertrude Peterson, Dean of the School of Medicine, to present to our next set of honorees.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Chancellor Joan Gable. It's great to be at least peripherally involved in bringing President Gable to Chancellor Gable here. So I'm very, very proud of the work that the search committee did. So thank you. So I'm here to recognize and call upon here 21 faculty who are appointed to distinguished and/or endowed professorships in 2023. As the Chancellor mentioned, we are, a comprehensive and amazingly distinguished university, and this is a very important event where we recognize some of our superstars and our emerging stars as part of our faculty. And it's only fitting that we do this in spring because these stars emerge and flourish and lead many programs, but also mentor thousands of students and trainees. So now I'd like to ask Chancellor Gable, Provost McCarthy, and Vice Provost John Wallace to join me on the podium. And for the honorees, as I call your name, please join us on stage and receive your medallion while I read your name. So, first person is Dr. Michael Boninger. Dr. Boninger is appointed as the Distinguished Professor of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation in the School of Medicine. Over more than 20 years at Pitt, he has led groundbreaking research programs in the development of assistive technologies, rehabilitative technology, and regenerative technologies for individuals with disabilities. His work has garnered more than $100 million in research over his career here at Pitt. And he's also a member of the National Academy of Medicine. So it's my pleasure to honor Dr. Michael Boninger with the Distinguished Professor Award. The next two honorees have helped establish the School of Nursing's international reputation in research excellence. So I'll start with Dr. Denise Sharon Prochovnik, and appointed to be the Distinguished Service Professor of Health Promotion and Development. She has served Pitt Nursing for 3 decades and has chaired the Department of Health Promotion and Development for the last 12 years. A pediatric nurse practitioner and a behavioral scientist, she has been funded for more than 30 years for the study of diabetes in youth and young adults. She won the 2021 Outstanding Educator in Diabetes Award from the American Diabetes Association. Also in 2023, inducted into Sigma Theta Tau's International Nurse Researcher Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Dr. Denise Sharon Prochovic. Next, Yvette Conley, Professor Conley will be appointed to Distinguished Service Professor of Health Promotion and Development. She joined Pitt in 2000 as the first geneticist in the country to hold a primary appointment within the nursing school. Research focuses on using multi-omics approaches to understanding symptom development and patient outcomes after traumatic brain injury, strokes, and cancer treatment. She has set up a molecular genomics laboratory, unprecedented at any other nursing school in the country, and has been instrumental to the genomics education and training of more than 500 nurse scientists across the country. Also honored with the 2023 UPMC Hillman Cancer Center Outstanding Research Mentor Award. Congratulations to Dr. Yvette Conley. Moving to Professor Stephen Engstrom, he's being appointed as the Distinguished Professor of Philosophy in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Considered among the best interpreters of international at the works of German philosopher Immanuel Kant, one of the foremost thinkers of the Enlightenment. He taught at the University of Chicago and Harvard before joining Pitt's Department of Philosophy in 1990, which I believe is still ranked #1 in the country at Pitt. Since then, has held visiting positions at UCLA, the University of Leipzig, and University of Chicago. His areas of interest include ethics, metaphysics, modern philosophy, and ancient philosophy. Congratulations, Professor Engstrom. Next, we will call on Professor Prashant Kumta. Professor Kumta is being appointed as Distinguished Professor of Bioengineering in the Swanson School of Engineering. He joined the university in 2007 after 17 years at Carnegie Mellon University, where his work led to the development of Biomedical Engineering Department. Research interests include novel synthesis and characterization of advanced nanostructured materials, properties of novel electrochemically active materials, and bioprinting approaches. His work has intersected with health sciences throughout his tenure as engineering director of the Center for Craniofacial Regeneration in the Dental School and as a key member of the McGowan Institute for Regenerative Medicine. In December, he was named a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors. So congratulations to Professor Kumta. Okay, then next, I'm going to call on Dr. Carla Mazevsky, and Dr. Mazevsky is being appointed as Nancy J. Minshew Chair in Autism Research in the School of Medicine. Dr. Mazevsky is a licensed clinical psychologist who joined Pitt in 2006. Her research focuses broadly on emotion regulation and mental health in autism spectrum disorders. She directs the Autism Center of Excellence program focused on mental health and suicide in autistic patients, which is traditionally called a P50 grant from the National Institute of Health. She's the author of Emotion Regulation Inventory, a questionnaire designed to capture problems with emotion dysregulation in minimally verbal and nonverbal children that is used in 6 continents, more than 45 countries, and most of the United States. So congratulations to Dr. Carla Mazevsky for her work. Next, I'm going to call on Dr. Michael Syed, appointed Distinguished Professor of Psychology in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Syed is a member of the Biobehavioral Cancer Control Research Program at UPMC Hillman Cancer Center and of the Center for Neural Basis of Cognition, a joint program of the University of Pittsburgh and Carnegie Mellon University. His research concerns the development of psychological theories of alcohol and tobacco use. He won the Provost Award for Excellence in Mentoring here at Pitt, a Toy Caldwell Colbert Award for Distinguished Educator from the Society of Clinical Psychology, and the Distinguished Scientific Contributor Award from the Society of Addiction Psychology. So congratulations to Professor Syed. Next, I'm going to call on Dr. Amy Sabert for being appointed as the Gordon J. Vanscoy Endowed Chair in Pharmacy. Dr. Sabert, prior to her selection as the Dean of the School of Pharmacy in 2022, served as Chair of the Department of Pharmacy and Therapeutics for 12 years. Recognized as an international leader in simulation education in pharmacy to advance pharmacotherapy knowledge, clinical decision-making, and medication safety skills in healthcare professionals. She also served as the pharmacy residency administrator at Pitt and UPMC, which is the largest pharmacy residency program in the country. She is an immediate past president of the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education, responsible for accrediting PharmD programs across the United States. It's a pleasure to have Dr. Amy Sabert on this stage with us. Thank you. Next, I'm going to call Dr. Heath Skinner, who is being appointed as the Claude Worthington Benedum Foundation Chair of Radiation Oncology in the School of Medicine. Dr. Skinner is the Associate Professor at University of Pittsburgh School of Medicine and also the Head of Radiation Oncology at UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, specializing in the study and treatment of head and neck and lung cancers. He runs a translational research laboratory utilizing big data approaches to identify novel and clinically targetable biomarkers for radiation. His work has directly helped lead multiple clinical trials combining radiation with metformin, including international multi-institutional trials that he led himself. His patients have always rated him in the top 1% nationally as a clinician and as a radiation oncologist. And I'm also very pleased to note that I had the pleasure of naming him as the Department Chair of Radiation Oncology last year. So congratulations to Professor Skinner. Okay, next, I'm going to call on Professor Prem Soman, who is being appointed as the Richard S. Caliguri Endowed Chair in Amyloidosis and Heart Failure in the School of Medicine. Dr. Soman is the Associate Chief of Cardiology and is the founding director of the Multidisciplinary Cardiac Amyloidosis Center and Director of Nuclear Cardiology and Cardiac Imaging Fellowship at UPMC. He has co-authored more than 150 original research papers, guidelines, editorials, and textbooks in cardiology, and the associate editor of Circulation, Cardiovascular Imaging, and senior guest editor of the Journal of Nuclear Cardiology. He won the Outstanding Educator Award from the Society of Nuclear Medicine and Molecular Imaging. So congratulations, Professor Salmon. Next, going to call on Dr. Carla Spagnoletti, who's being appointed the George H. Tabor Chair in General Internal Medicine in the School of Medicine. Dr. Spagnoletti currently serves as the Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs and the Associate Director of Medical Education Degree Granting Programs in the Institute of Clinical Research Education and Chair of the Academy of Distinguished Medical Educators in the School of Medicine. Carla also serves as the Associate Division Chief for Education in General Internal Medicine, working closely with internal medicine fellows, residents, and medical students as a clinical preceptor and advisor. She has received numerous awards for her scholarship, teaching, and mentorship, and leadership in the School of Medicine, and was recognized earlier today with the Chancellor's Distinguished Teaching Award. So congratulations to Professor Spagnoletti. Next, I'm going to call on Dr. Kamesha Spates. Professor Spates is being appointed as the William S. Dietrich II Endowed Chair of Africana Studies in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. She is the founder and director of the Racial Justice and Health Equity Research and Education Collaborative, which trains undergraduate and graduate students to conduct health-related research from a racial equity and transdisciplinary perspective. With over 20 years of community-based research experience, her areas of specialization include mental health equity and ways of optimizing Black health. She's a first-generation college graduate and provides an annual scholarship at the community college where she began her higher education. And she's an inspiration to all of us. So congratulations, Professor Spates. Next, I'm going to call on Professor Raman Venkataramanan, appointed as the Distinguished Service Professor of Pharmaceutical Sciences in the School of Pharmacy. He's a leading expert in basic and clinical pharmacology and earned the 2024 Distinguished Investigator Award from the American College of Clinical Pharmacy. He directs the Clinical Pharmacokinetics Laboratory and serves as the Associate Director of Therapeutic Drug Monitoring and Toxicology at the McGowan Institute for Regenerative Medicine. An active clinician, his research focuses on the effects of medications used to treat transplant patients, and he worked with Thomas Starzl on studies of tacrolimus, the original immunosuppressant drug that saved a lot of transplant patients. So he's had a distinguished accomplishments to his credit. So congratulations, Professor Venkataramanan. Next, I'm going to call on Professor Donald Ely. Dr. Ely is appointed UPMC Endowed Chair of Emergency Medicine in the School of Medicine. Dr. Ely is well known to many people who have seen all of his wonderful public appearances in press releases and other medical school events. And he's a Chief Medical Officer and Senior Vice President of the Health Services Division at UPMC. And he led many of the COVID-19 efforts for the UPMC health system. In his over 400 scientific publications, he was the lead or senior author for many NIH-funded efforts in airway management, acute pneumonia, acute heart failure, pulmonary embolism, sepsis care, and other emergency conditions. His work has changed clinical care in many life-threatening conditions, particularly in the context of the emergency room, and he's a nationally recognized expert in emergency medicine and also a member of the National Academy of Medicine. So congratulations, Professor Ely. Next, I would like to call Jose Zavalos, who's being appointed as the Dr. Eugene M. Myers Chair in Otolaryngology in the School of Medicine. Perhaps not. But I would also, take a quick moment to honor not only Dr. Zavalos, who unfortunately couldn't be here, but also a few other distinguished professors' appointment who could not attend their ceremony today. So I'll just quickly read their names and a couple of sentences about them. Dr. Jose Zavalos joined us 2 years ago from University of Washington, St. Louis, and he is a renowned surgeon as well as a researcher in head and neck cancers. Next person is Dr. Wendy Berg. She is being appointed as the Distinguished Professor of Radiology. Dr. Berg was also appointed as the Bernard F. Fisher Chair of Breast Cancer Clinical Sciences. She's a pioneer in validating better methods for early detection of breast cancer and treatment of breast cancer in women, and works at McGee Women's Hospital. Next person that I would like to recognize is Dr. Cliff Calloway. Dr. Clifton Calloway is the Distinguished Professor of Emergency Medicine. He served the School of Medicine for nearly 30 years as a leading clinician and an educator and researcher. And his area is improving brain injury after cardiac arrest, as well as the clinical and translational sciences associated with that. The next person I'd like to recognize is Dr. Jose Shibab as the A.W. Mellon Endowed Chair in Political Science in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. He joined Pitt last year directly from Texas A&M University as a comparative politics expert with a focus on the emergence and effects of democratic regimes and institutions. The next distinguished professor I would like to recognize is Dr. Joseph Glorioso as the Distinguished Professor of Microbiology and Molecular Genetics. He has spent his lengthy career studying the molecular biology of herpes simplex virus, or HSV, and in the last 20 years developed HSV gene vectors to treat neuropathy, chronic pain, and cancer. He's a worldwide leader in the field of using HSV vectors for cancer treatment. And finally, Professor Paige Pannell honored as the Henry B. Higman Chair in Neurology in the School of Medicine. Dr. Pannell joined Pitt as the Chair of Neurology Department in 2021 after 12 years at the Harvard Medical School and Brigham and Women's Hospital. She's a clinical investigator focused on women's health in epilepsy and a very important leader for our Translational Neuroscience Institute activities. So with that, I conclude the list of our distinguished and endowed professor list. Thank you all. And it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Joseph McCarthy, Provost McCarthy, to the stage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Anantha. And now we'll honor this year's awardees of both the Provost Award for Excellence in Doctoral Mentoring and the Provost Award for Diversity in the Curriculum. The Provost Award for Excellence in Doctoral Mentoring recognizes as many as 4 University of Pittsburgh faculty members each year who demonstrate outstanding mentoring of graduate students seeking a research doctoral degree. Winners receive a cash prize of $2,500, so any faculty that want to be nominated, there's an incentive. This year, we celebrate 4 honorees. Please hold your applause until all our honorees have reached the stage. Chancellor Gabel, I invite you to join me as we present these awards. I'd also like to ask Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs, Luen Wong, to join us as well. Faculty honorees who are in attendance with us today, please join us on stage as we call your name. First, we honor my friend, Yanni Bormpakis, Associate Professor of Chemical and Petroleum Engineering and Bicentennial Alumni Faculty Fellow in the Swanson School of Engineering. Yanni joined the faculty in 2013. Next, we honor Caterina Rosano, Professor of Epidemiology in the School of Public Health. Caterina also serves as the Vice Chair for Research in the Department of Epidemiology and as Associate Director for Clinical Translation at the Aging Institute. Caterina first came to the university as a research specialist in 1999 and then served as a postdoctoral fellow in public health. She joined the faculty in 2005. Next, we recognize Sunil Saxena, Professor of Chemistry in the Kenneth P. Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Sunil joined Pitt's faculty in 2001 and previously served as the department chair in chemistry from 2017 to 2023. Our last honoree in this category is Elizabeth or Beth Skidmore, who is a professor of occupational therapy and associate dean of research in the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences. Elizabeth previously served as the chair of the Department of Occupational Therapy from 2015 to 2022. She also holds appointments in the School of Medicine, Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, the Clinical Translational Science Institute, and the School of Nursing. Congratulations. This year, the Office of the Provost awarded 6 faculty members with the Provost Award for Diversity in the Curriculum. The honor recognizes exceptional efforts to incorporate equity and inclusion into existing courses and curricula. Winners also receive a $2,500 cash prize. I'd like to ask Dr. Sarah Matthew, who assisted and supported the award implementation and applicants this year, to join us on stage. Again, I ask faculty honorees in attendance to join us on stage as I call your name, and please, audience, hold all applause until the end. First, Kurt E. Beshorer from Bioengineering implemented changes to a statistics course by integrating technical content with socially relevant discussions to cultivate a more inclusive and equitable learning environment. The objective is to enhance students' proficiency in implementing inclusive research design practices. The lectures illustrate how health inequities can arise from the absence of inclusive research and best practices for conducting inclusive research. This approach aims to foster an environment where engineering students are encouraged to learn and engage more comfortably in discussions related to race and gender. Next, we recognize Linda D'Angelo from the School of Education, the Educational Foundations, Organizations, and Policy Department, for modifying a course to focus on change management within higher education. The shift in emphasis transitioned away from managing change within higher ed, lacking equity, justice, and inclusivity. Instead, the approach pivoted from a transactional leadership framework in strategic planning to one with a central focus on equity and inclusion. These adjustments recognize students as active agents of change who prioritize and understand the importance of equity and inclusion. Jill Demirci from the School of Nursing, Health Promotion and Development Department developed a curriculum on front-loading lactation with an equity focus to offer undergraduate nursing students a practical and low-pressure learning setting. The course introduces fundamental lactation knowledge, fostering critical thinking and enhancing nursing management skills. The goal is to heighten awareness, comfort, and familiarity among students regarding lactation support for diverse patient groups. Next is a pair of honorees, James Egan and Abimbola Fapohandai, in the School of Public Health, the Department of Behavioral and Community Health Sciences, for creating the course within the recently launched Bachelor's of Science program in the School of Public Health. The objective of the course was actively involving students in identifying and critically examining health disparities through lectures, guest speakers, readings, and multimedia resources. Evolving since 2021, the course now integrates a final communication plan for group presentations. Additionally, the format has shifted to live discussions centered around readings, promoting an environment where students are encouraged to pose questions to one another. Our final recipient, Orquídea Torres, is from the School of Medicine, the Department of Pediatrics, Adolescents, and Young Adult Medicine, where she created the anti-racism curriculum to increase awareness of racism in child and adolescent health, increasing proficiency in trauma-sensitive skills during critical encounters, and promote anti-racist practices in the workplace. Ongoing adjustments since 2020 have aimed to expand the program's reach, improve accessibility, and ensure sustainability. Grant funding has been secured for pediatrics and internal medicine to acquire relevant books and to remunerate guest speakers. The program has been showcased at national and local conferences through poster abstracts and platform presentations. A manuscript on the program has been published in the Journal of Medical Education and Curricular Development. Congratulations to all of our awardees. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Rob Rutenbar, Senior Vice Chancellor for Research.
Chancellor Gable, Dr. McCarthy, Dr. Shaker, and faculty. I'm honored to recognize our faculty whose innovation and creativity have been nationally or internationally recognized by their peers and who have contributed to the continuing success of Pitt's research enterprise. Each of you has followed your curiosity with hard work and, okay, maybe a little bit of luck. You built an amazing landscape of discoveries, new insights into the political, social, and biological nature of life, new connections between life, technology, and even the structure of the universe surrounding us. Each of you has earned the honor we're announcing today in recognition of unique individual accomplishments in unique fields of exploration. But I know that you also have much in common. You have invested in your students. You've engaged with your community, however it is defined, and helped it grow. And you've collaborated. And we know that serious scholarship can be solitary work, and the achievements you've earned are because of your individual perseverance and, okay, also maybe because of some impatience, right, to uncover bigger discoveries. But we also know that research can become a greater good when individuals collaborate. Researchers from different disciplines ask new questions, they take new paths, and the whole really does become bigger than the sum of its parts. Multidisciplinary scholarship leads to unexpected inspirations and innovations. Pitt's ecosystem helps inspire this collaboration and respect between disciplines. Inside this square mile of Oakland and across all of our regional campuses, researchers discover one another and join forces. In that way, we expand the possibilities of knowledge we can create, problems we can solve, and the impact we can have on the world. I happen to be an engineer, so I am wired to like numbers. And as the Senior Vice Chancellor for Research, I am very proud that we are putting up big numbers. We keep score on things like external research funding, and that is a way. It is certainly not the only way that we and our peers in the world understands the value of Pitt's research enterprise. As you may know, in 2022, we joined the elite $1 billion club in terms of research expenditures from external awards. Now we think of $1 billion as just our baseline. In the past fiscal year, we reached an all-time high of $1.16 billion. We're now ranked 16th in an elite group of American universities. That one big number is made up of the cumulative efforts of Pitt researchers, the work that people in this room do every day, planning, writing proposals, developing creative collaborations, and putting in the work. It feels good to have those numerical bragging rights, but funding is just one way of judging our impact, our success, and our excellence across the full landscape of scholarship at Pitt. Not all recognition comes from funding agencies with deep pockets. Important recognition of Pitt's impact also comes from prestigious awards. These awards are one of the ways that peers and institutions recognize your commitment to high-quality research, to scholarship, and to creative endeavors. Unlike research funding, which usually lasts for a couple of years, recognitions by your peers and outside institutions is lifelong. Many of these awards are reviewed and judged outside of Pitt by experts nationally and internationally against a fierce landscape of competing peers. So, winning these honors is a very big deal. Today's ceremony celebrates 55 faculty at Pitt who have been recognized by a wide range of institutions. These prestigious awards are conferred by national and international organizations, professional societies, academies, honors groups, regional and national associations, select funding agencies, and other organizations that bestow awards that highlight notable faculty accomplishments. From Katz to Swanson, from Oakland to Bradford, nearly every school and regional campus is represented in these awards. Honorees are also at all career stages: early career assistant and associate professors, as well as full professors and distinguished professors. The Dietrich School honorees fields range from research in chemistry to religious studies. We're honoring work from accounting to poetry and from education to bioengineering. So, to close my opening remarks, to each of you who have received a prestigious award, I want to extend my personal congratulations. Well done. You earned it. At this time, I would like to ask Chancellor Gable and Senior Vice Chancellor Shaker to join me as we recognize all of the honorees from the various schools within the health sciences. For the honored faculty who are here today, please join us on the stage as I call your name. Friends and family, please hold your applause till all the honorees from each school are announced. We will begin by recognizing the honorees from the School of Medicine. So, Professor Kalob Ababa in the Department of Medicine has been named a Fellow of the Society for Clinical Trials for his work standardizing infrastructure and processes for clinical trials and developing networks of clinical data coordination across the university. Professor Howard J. Eisenstein in the Department of Psychiatry has received a geriatric award from the American College of Psychiatrists. His research has increased understanding of the brain mechanisms associated with geriatric depression and improved prevention and treatment strategies. Assistant Professor Marco Capagrosso in the Department of Neurological Surgery has received a Young Investigator Award from the Society for Neuroscience for his work on spinal cord stimulator research to help arm and hand function in stroke patients suffering from paralysis. Assistant Professor Maria Di Cecchina in the Department of Computational and Systems Biology has been accepted into the Faculty Early Career Development Program at the National Science Foundation, which will help further her work building general and flexible algorithms that can reduce large collections of data into smaller, biologically meaningful representations. Assistant Professor Michelle N. Insinali in the Department of Otolaryngology has received the Geraldine Dietz Fox Young Investigator Award from the Association for Research in Otolaryngology. She seeks to identify neural coding principles underlying perceptual flexibility in large-scale auditory networks. Assistant Professor Nathan Dale Lord in the Department of Computational and Systems Biology has received the NIH Director's Transformative Research Award. His research focuses on the complex network of chemical communications between embryos and stem cells with the goal of manipulating the cells in a useful way. Professor Pamela A. Moali in the Department of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Reproductive Sciences has been named an elected member of the Association of American Physicians. Her work involves improving current treatments and developing novel therapies for pelvic floor disorders. Professor Ana Lucia Mora in the Department of Medicine has received a recognition award for scientific accomplishments from the American Thoracic Society. Her pioneered aging studies showed that vulnerability and persistence of endoplasmic reticulum stress responses are key components of the age-related risk for injury and lung fibrosis. Professor Mary Louise Phillips in the Department of Psychiatry has been named an elected member of the Association of American Physicians for her work on how neuromodulation techniques can be targeted on identified neural biomarkers of mood disorders. Distinguished Professor and Chairman Josein Elas-Sahel in the Department of Ophthalmology has been named a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors. As one of the world's top experts in retinal diseases and vision restoration research, he has developed several interventions for retinitis pigmentosa, age-related macular degeneration, vascular eye disease, and other vision impairments that are currently untreatable. Assistant Professor Anne Rushanda Karvunis in the Department of Computational and Systems Biology has received the NIH Director's Transformative Research Award for her work examining microproteins and how they interact with the immune system. Professor Stephen Yua Chan in the Department of Medicine has been named an elected member of the Association of American Physicians and a member of the Association of University Cardiologists. His research focuses on the molecular mechanisms of pulmonary vascular disease and pulmonary hypertension. Professor Ora Ann Weiss in the Department of Medicine has received the Sandra K. Mazier Senior Leadership Award from the American Society for Cell Biology. Her research interest focuses on understanding how the kidney proximal tubule retrieves filtered proteins from the cellular and axial level. So, congratulations to all of our winners from the School of Medicine. We will now recognize the honorees from the School of Health and Rehabilitation Sciences. Professor Jonathan Perlman in the Department of Rehabilitation Science and Technology has been named a senior elite member of the National Academy of Inventors. His track record of commercialization is impressive and continually expanding, most recently overseeing the university's Healthy Home Lab. Assistant Professor Ahmed Tafti in the Department of Health Information Management has received the Oracle Eureka Award for his work as Director of the Pitt Health and Explainable AI Research Laboratory. He aims to make healthcare better through the power of artificial intelligence. Professor Rory Cooper in the Department of Rehabilitation Science and Technology has received the National Medal of Technology and Innovation from the President of the United States and been named a National Inventors Hall of Fame inductee by the National Inventors Hall of Fame Foundation and has been elected to the National Academy of Engineering. He's a world-renowned engineer in assistive mobility, aiming to empower people with disabilities through innovation technology. And Professor Catherine Palmer in the Department of Communication Science and Disorders has received the honors of the Academy Award from the American Academy of Audiology. This award is given to an audiologist in recognition of their exceptional support of the field of audiology by focusing on issues that directly affect those with hearing loss and balance disorders. So congratulations to all of our winners here. We will now recognize the honorees from the School of Pharmacy. Associate Professor Lucas Berenbrock in the Department of Pharmacy and Therapeutics has received the Albert B. Prescott Pharmacy Leadership Award from the Pharmacy Leadership and Education Institute. He was recognized for his leadership in developing over-the-counter hearing aid education for pharmacists and his innovative research on the accessibility of community pharmacists. Interim Chair and Professor Sandra Gain-Kill in the Department of Pharmacy and Therapeutics has received the Paul R. Dawson Award for Excellence in Patient Care Research from the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy. This annual award recognizes an active scientist who is a leader in health services delivery research that directly affects patient care outcomes. Professor Neil Benedict was unable to join us today. He is in the Department of Pharmacy and Therapeutics and has received a Distinguished Teaching Scholar Award from the American Association of Colleges of Pharmacy for his outstanding contributions to supporting scholarly teaching. So congratulations to pharmacy. We will now recognize the honorees from the School of Nursing. Professor Denise Sharon Prochownik in the Department of Health Promotion and Development has been inducted into the International Nurse Researcher Hall of Fame by the Sigma Theta Tau International Honor Society of Nursing. This prestigious honor recognizes nurse researchers who have achieved significant recognition and whose research has improved the profession of nursing and the people it serves. Assistant Professor Marcy Nilsson in the Department of Acute and Tertiary Care has received an NIH Merit Award from the National Institutes of Health. This award will further her research into head and neck cancer survivorship and treatment-related toxicities and morbidities. So congratulations to everyone from the School of Nursing. We will now recognize the honorees from the School of Public Health. Assistant Professor Thomas J. Songer in the Department of Epidemiology has received the American College of Epidemiology's most prestigious accolade, the Abraham Lillienfield Award. This award honors a senior leader who has made extraordinary contributions to the field of epidemiology through teaching, mentoring, research, and scholarship. And Assistant Professor Simone Farsijani in the Department of Epidemiology has received the Gerontological Society of America Health Sciences Research Award. This research award honors a new investigator in the health sciences. So congrats to everyone in the health sciences. So please join me once again in congratulating all of these distinguished honorees from the health sciences. So, Chancellor Gable, please remain, and I now invite Provost McCarthy to take Dr. Shaker's place and join us in the rest of the honorees come up to be recognized. So, we will now recognize the honorees from the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Associate Professor Angie Cruz in the Department of English has been awarded a McDowell Fellowship. She's an award-winning author and has received several grants for her writing and teaching. Professor Graham Hatfull in the Department of Biological Sciences has received the Gardner Middlebrook Lifetime Achievement Award from the European Society of Mycobacteriology for his contributions to the study of tuberculosis and related diseases. Professor Adam S. Lowenstein in the Department of English has been awarded a Guggenheim Fellowship from the John Simon Guggenheim Memorial Foundation. He is known for his research on horror films and their cultural impact. Professor Ruth Ann Mostern in the Department of History has received the AAS-CIAC Levinson Prizes for Books in Chinese Studies in 2 categories from the Association for Asian Studies for her book exploring how humans have shaped China's Yellow River and vice versa. Associate Professor Adam B. Shear in the Department of Religious Studies has received the Digital Innovation Award from the Renaissance Society of America for his work on the database Footprints that tracks the circulation of early modern Hebrew and Jewish books. Professor Emerita Toy Derricott in the Department of English has received the inaugural Pegasus Award for service in poetry by the Poetry Foundation. The award recognizes her extraordinary work in poetry and the literary arts through administration, advocacy, education, publishing, and service. Assistant Professor Jennifer Lacer in the Department of Chemistry has been named a PMSE Young Investigator by the American Chemical Society for her work on polymer physics and polymeric materials. Professor Peter Wipf in the Department of Chemistry has received the award for creative work in synthetic organic chemistry by the American Chemical Society for his contributions to the field of organic synthesis over the course of his career. So congrats to all of our Dietrich winners. We will now recognize the honorees from the Katz Graduate School of Business. Professor Sharon Alvarez has been named president of the Academy of Management. Her work focuses on entrepreneurship and the possibility that opportunities are created and exploited by those seeking to generate economic profits. Professor John Jeffrey Inman has been named a fellow of the American Marketing Association. His work focuses on factors that increase consumer-relevant behaviors such as healthy eating, in-store choice, and the influence of technology on consumer behavior. Professor Peggy Liu has received the Emerging Scholar Award from the American Marketing Association. Her research focuses on consumer behavior with an emphasis on the health and social domains. And Professor Vicki Hoffman has received the Outstanding Audit Educator Award from the American Accounting Association. Her teaching method applies social science theory to accounting and the effects of cognition and motivation on accounting decision. So congratulations to all of our CATS winners. We will now recognize the honorees from the School of Education. Assistant Professor Heather Nicole McCambly in the Department of Educational Foundations, Organization, and Policy has been named a National Academy of Education Spencer Postdoctoral Fellow. Her work revolves around identifying systemic racial inequalities and studying the influence of aspiring change agents in higher education. Professor Kirsten Scott in the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Leading has been awarded the Ernest A. Linton Award for the Scholarship of Engagement by the Campus Compact. She is a community-driven educator that works across the disciplines of rhetorical theory and writing studies, digital and Black studies, and critical pedagogy. An interim dean of the School of Education and professor in the Department of Educational Foundations, Organization, and Policy, Ebony Zamani Gallagher, has been named president-elect of the Association for the Study of Higher Education. Her work focuses on equitable participation in higher education, retention policies, minority student populations, and racial equity in campus climate and education pathways. So congratulations to all of our winners from education. We will now recognize the honorees from the Swanson School of Engineering. Assistant Professor Amir Alavi in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering has been accepted into the Faculty Early Career Development Program at the National Science Foundation. This will allow him to expand his research in self-powered mechanical metamaterials that can think for themselves without the need for delicate processors or batteries. Associate Professor Mustafa M. Badawi in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Material Science has been accepted into the Faculty Early Career Development Program at the National Science Foundation. This will allow his research in laser-induced nanocarbon to expedite and revolutionize flexible device manufacturing processes. Professor Tracy Tsui in the Department of Bioengineering has been named a senior member of the National Academy of Inventors. She focuses her work on the interactions between neural tissue and smart biomaterials and has had 4 patents licensed, with 1 resulting in a startup company here in Pittsburgh. Distinguished Professor Prashant N. Kumta in the Department of Bioengineering has been named a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors. He is a pioneer in an array of research fields, including advanced nanostructured materials for energy storage and conversion and functional nanoscale material systems for hard and soft tissue engineering. Assistant Professor Xiaoyun Zhao in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Material Science has been accepted into the Faculty Early Career Development Program at the National Science Foundation. This will further her research in photopolymer additive manufacturing. And Distinguished Professor Payman Givey in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Material Science has been named a Fellow of the Combustion Institute for his pioneering contributions in numerical turbulent combustion, education of the next generation of combustion engineers, and dedicated efforts to the combustion profession. So congratulations to everybody in Swanson. We now recognize the honorees from the School of Law. Interim Dean and Professor Mary Crosley has received the J. Healy Distinguished Health Law Teacher Award from the American Society of Law, Medicine, and Ethics. Widely recognized for her scholarship in disability and health law, she has written broadly on issues of inequality in healthcare financing and delivery, and has published articles in numerous law journals. Professor Christian Powell Sundquist has been named a Fellow of the American Bar Foundation for his work on the issues of technology, race, and innovation. And Professor John Linarelli has been named a Fellow of the American Bar Foundation. He is a leading global voice in bringing philosophical and critical theories of global justice in contact with international law. So congratulations to everybody in law. And we will now recognize the honoree from the Graduate School of Public and International Affairs. Professor Jen Brick Murtasashvili in the Center for Governance and Markets has been awarded the Outstanding Civic Engagement Project Award from the American Political Science Association. The award recognizes 2 unique efforts to assist threatened scholars in Afghanistan and Ukraine. So, congrats to Jen. And we will now recognize the honorees from the School of Computing and Information. Assistant Professor Ling-Fei Wu in the Department of Informatics and Network Systems and has been accepted into the Faculty Early Career Development Program at the National Science Foundation. This will further his research into how core scientific knowledge advances and understanding the role of team innovation in those advances. Assistant Professor Xiaowei Jia in the Department of Computer Science has been accepted into the Faculty Early Career Development Program at the National Science Foundation for his work in combining machine learning and physics-based modeling approaches for accelerating scientific discovery. And Professor James Joshi in the Department of Informatics and Network Systems has received the National Science Foundation Director's Award for Superior Achievement. He was awarded the NSF's highest honor for exemplary public service and leadership in advancing privacy-preserving capabilities within data and analytics. So congrats to all of our winners from SCI. And our final honoree today is from one of our regional campuses. Associate Professor and Chair Helma DeVries Jordan in the Division of Behavioral and Social Sciences at Pitt Bradford has received a Mid-Career Service Award from the American Political Science Association's Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Caucus. Her work focuses on areas of comparative politics and international relations, in addition to the marriage equality movement and LGBTQ activisms. So, congratulations to Helma. Okay, I think I'm done.
Thanks, Rob. I want to thank everyone once again for being here today. I'd also like to recognize the students present and the Blue and Gold Society for helping to make this event run smoothly. Despite my rough start, this has been an afternoon of deep significance for our newly installed Chancellor, for those who have been honored, and for the ongoing work of every faculty member at our university. Please join me again in applauding their exceptional accomplishments. Together, we're making our campus, our region, our world stronger through knowledge, innovation, and outreach. I'm certain that our collective commitment will continue to propel the university forward in lasting and transformative ways. I invite all of you to join us at the reception immediately following the ceremony as we continue this wonderful celebration. Thank you, and hail to Pitt.
I'm going to break up. I would like everyone to stand up and give a standing ovation to our new Chancellor.
Go to the reception.